Oh, I'm jolted awake by a thunderous banging sound coming from my door. My first thought is it could be Shizune. After all, only a deaf person or a jackass would knock that loudly at this hour. It's probably Misha. Who is it? Of course, if it's Shizune, she wouldn't be able to hear that or answer it. There's no reply, and I'm kind of pleased. I haven't seen Shizune in a while. Okay, opening the door, I find Kenji standing out in the hall, his eyes nervously darting from side to side. Is this like the first Kenji interaction we're having in like a girl's route? I don't really remember talking to him about like. Oh no, we had that conversation when Rin was here, and he thought she was a guy. But I remember what about Hanako? Anyway, opening the door, I find Kenji standing out in the hall. Oh, it's you. Yeah, it's me. What kind of reaction is that? Well, I'd be able to give you a more personalized response if you had answered when I asked who it was. Kenji frowns and pushes up his glasses exactly like Shizune. Why are you making that weird face? Wonder how he's able to see me making a face now, yet he wasn't able to the millions of other times I've reacted to something weird he has said or done. I kinda want to pursue this, but I'm too tired to actually do it. Shizune pushes her glasses up like that. You know, the student council president. Just kinda a little weird. What the hell? What do you mean there's this girl who does the same thing? You mean she touches her glasses? I do that. That's my thing. Who is this bitch? Why are bitches up? Why are bitches all up in my business? Stealing what I do. His character flips from anger to fear in the blink of an eye. She trying to replace me? Pod people? No, wait, that's the exact copy. Pod women? It's like my two greatest fears combined. It is. I can't believe he has a point. Hey, you going into town today? Maybe later. Okay, awesome. I have some stuff I want you to pick up for me at the post office. Some delicate and secret stuff. He speaks in a whisper as if talking about his mail, even in a normal tone of voice, would jeopardize it. You can have your mail sent directly here, you know. No, you can't. You have your mail sent to the school, and then the student council picks it up, and then they give it to you. It's not the same as mail's appearing in your hands. Really, the student council work is doing everyone's mail, too? Why have we not done anyone's mail? There's no way none of these students have been getting mail. I don't trust the student council. Many dudes get their mail here, you know. Many dudes don't get their mail here, you know. You probably just steal it all. They think that just because it's sent to them, they have the license to steal. I can just see them now, elbow deep in mail, fast grabbing all the free swag they can get a hold on. Sickening. Where can I find this mailman who can conjure mail out of thin air and into your hands? I don't know. I bet the student council killed him to perceive the monopoly on all the students' shit. It doesn't work that way. Is that what you wanted, though? Fine, I can pick up your mail for you, but eventually I'm going to collect all these favors. You already owe me some money. Thanks for reminding me. Pay you back after I get my package. Yeah, my bad. Can't really repay you until then. I'm still broke. Then I'm basically doing it for money, like a job. Why do you need the package first? Is there money in the package? Nah. I'm seriously dumbfounded. Why can't you get it? Because I'm going to remodel my room today in the war room. Into a war room. As the days go by, I realize more and more dangerous feminism is. It really is everywhere, even in places like Iran. Can't tell how far up it goes. Jesus. When the war begins, if we haven't transcended the concept of nations to fight for our genders, it will be chaos. No one will know which side to take, and a war against feminism won't just mean World War III, but the end of all life on Earth as we know it. If we lose, our supple Japanese women will be raped and enslaved by a bunch of sociopathic lesbian supremacists. Meanwhile, the handful of men that didn't die in the war will be castrated and forced to repair toilets and build massive monuments commemorating the feminist victory. That's crazy. You're crazy. I think you're overthinking this. As days go by, I realize more and more that you're not ballin'. Who wrote this Kenji, bro? This Kenji's crazy. Normal Kenji's normal, but this one's like, damn, they're fucking on my swag. You're not ballin', Kenji. Holy shit. You're not ballin' Hisao. Shit. We only talked like 4 times. No, sorry. Yeah, whatever. I'll get your package. Awesome. I close my door and jump right back into bed. The second my head hits the pillow, a painfully loud ringing assaults my ears, and I realize it's my clock. The alarm going off means that right now is the time I'm supposed to wake up in the first place. We didn't get any of his information. How are we supposed to know where to get, like, which P.O. box? Or anything. On weekdays, at least. I pick it up and throw it without looking up. It gets wedged between the bed and the wall. Noise not stopping. In fact, it seems to be growing louder. By the time I'm able to pry it out, I know that I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. The only thing I could think of doing now is going into town and just getting Kenji's stupid package, but it's too early for that. After showering, I take my medication. I'm actually very hungry today since I went without dinner yesterday, but before that, I just had a very light lunch. I eat the pills, chomping on them like a leg of lamb. That can't be good. They're unbelievably bitter and disgusting, yeah. Well, good medicine tastes bad, or something like that. I'm still hungry. There's still a lot of time to kill, so I decide to go into town and find somewhere to have breakfast. How do you go from, this is the time I'm supposed to wake up, there's no time to go back to sleep? I still have a lot of time to kill. I'm gonna go all the way into town. I can't remember the last time I ate out. Besides, the weather's nice, so why not? The walk into town is longer than I remember, possibly because it's been a while, and probably because I rarely come here alone. There are barely any cars on the road because it's so early in the morning, making it unusually quiet. The first thing I do is start looking for a place to eat. Immediately, I think of the Shanghai, but I want something more substantial than sandwiches or a cake. Since it's so early, though, I decide to get Kenji's package first. Picking it up at the post office doesn't take very long, but the moment I see it, I'm enraged about what a pain in the ass it will be to carry this thing all the way back up to school. The box is huge, and you need 2 hands to hold it. Insultingly, it's not even very heavy. I was thinking of wandering around for a little while, but with this thing in tow, that's going to be a real problem. I guess the Shanghai is my only option now. Everything else is closed, and the ones that aren't, all about the same menu. That fact also makes me want to throw some more business Yuko's way. Before I can even open the door and enter, someone taps me on the shoulder from behind. I turn around and see Shizune there. Instinctively, I look for Misha, but she doesn't seem to be here. Good morning. Looks like those sign language classes are already starting to pay off. I'm tempted to sign it back, but she might think I know a little more than I actually do. Why does she know to sign good morning? She knows that we don't understand her. She's smarter than that. Unless she knows that we're already taking sign language. For now, I just give her a wave and open the door. She's probably here for her morning tea and didn't come here just to greet me. Turns out I'm right, and Shizune follows me in the tea house. Like a total ghost town in here. It's not exactly peak hours, but every other cafe I'd passed had at least a few customers. Actually, the Shanghai has been fairly empty every time I passed by. How's this place stay in business? Oh, thank you for choosing to patronize our establishment. Is patronize the word? Patronize, I guess. Is that different? Man. I guess being a patron and patronizing. But patronizing, I don't know. Yuko bows to the force of a falling axe, and her head collides with the box in my hands, launching it towards the floor. Oh, it's gonna be like porn mags. Oh no, I'm sorry, really sorry. Please forgive me. It's okay, you don't have to do that. Hello, thanks for choosing our shop thing since we know you. But it's part of my job. You're here really early, what can I get for you? I just want some coffee for now. You were so hungry a second ago. I wonder what Shizune wants. Without Misha, there's no real way to tell, or any way to even ask. I haven't learned that yet. She's here, so I'm pretty sure that she just wants something too. Well, if she's here every morning, I think that they know what she wants, right? She said that she was a usual. I know that was a joke, but I don't really know what Shizune wants. Does she have a usual? Wait, she might not. She might want something else, though. Perhaps you should bring us a menu, just in case. I look around for one, but can't find anything that looks remotely like a menu. Menus? I'll look for one right now. Huh? There are menus. They're just rare. It's only a restaurant menu, not a collector's edition. Weird. Is that what Shizune's saying? Nah, she can't hear you. It's just weird for a cafe to make you have to go out of your way to look for a menu. Weird? Yes, you're right. It's so illogical. There are so many things, like why is it called the Shanghai? This is a Western-style tea house, but the name is Chinese, and the architecture is old-fashioned, but my uniform is so modern and sophisticated. She looks like she's about to pass out. If she does, she'll probably fall forward and make a mess of everything. I can't work here anymore. What a bad place for her to circular train of logic to end up. No, come on. This kind of stuff is what sets this place apart. There are lots of other cafes around here, you know? It's like a charming, really. Please don't quit. Business is good here, isn't it? Not really. See, I think this job is good for you. It suits you. You shouldn't quit. You're great at places where you don't actually have to deal with people. Yuko? I never had to defuse this kind of crisis before. Eventually, I'm going to calm her down and convince her that I'm sure Shizune just wants something she usually orders here. Yuko walks away to get her drinks, and by then Shizune has already picked a table. There are no other customers, and Yuko is the most talkative person, so it's very quiet. It doesn't really bother me, but I wish that there was some way we could communicate. There are so few moments where we're alone. Shizune and Misha are almost always together, to the point where it's sometimes like there really are one. Now it's just me and her, and I'm unable to understand her or have her understand me. It's terrible. You don't have your little notepad today? I know it's the weekend and all, but it's not like you to be unprepared. Well, that's fine. I don't really like using it anyway. Still, it would come in handy now. She stares. Shizune starts signing in short bursts, punctuated by her stopping to take a sip of tea. It's strange how she doesn't make the slightest attempt to change how she normally acts. Talking to her, for most part, just because I'm not used to long silences, I briefly wonder if this is the same for her, in a way. However, it seems unlikely. I think it's more that she is the type who doesn't change how she acts for anyone. Hey, it seems like Misha joined the student council because of you. That makes two of us, you know? I'm only there because you forced me into it. Well, not really forced. I guess if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have joined. That sounds slightly romantic, and I find myself blushing a little. I feel like such an idiot. Although, I still don't know why you joined. Should have been the first thing I asked, in retrospect, but I am really curious. I have to remember to ask Misha sometime. I wonder if she can read lips. Maybe... I guess she would have to know what the words are. Depends how long she's been deaf. It's nice to talk to you, even though you can't understand me. I wonder if it's the same for you. That would be really great. I don't think sign language will be as natural for me as Misha makes it look, but it's got to be a step up from using pen and paper, right? We both finished our drinks for a while, and Shizune's eyes fall upon the box sitting in its own chair by my side. I'm picking it up for someone. It's not mine. Oh, Shizune pulls it closer to her, intending to open it, and my heart almost leaps out of my throat. I quickly try to pull it back, and wrapping my leg around the chair. What the hell? Don't open it! You can't just open other people's mail. That's not legal. No. When she gets going, there's almost no stopping her. Eyes filled with excitement. She looks ready to fight me over this stupid package, and I realize just how fast it could turn into a game of tug-of-war. I am almost out of my seat now, waving my arms like an air traffic controller, before she finally settles down. Shizune pouts, not pleased with having her curiosity checked, and gets up to leave. It's about time to, I guess. We've been here for a while. I protectively pick up the box, and before standing up myself. Suddenly, she tenses her fingers excitedly and pulls out a marker from her pocket. Starts writing on Kenji's box. Hey, what are you doing? This isn't mine. Hey! Can't even see her, blocking my vision. Fine, at least let me put it down first. I have to read whatever she's writing anyway. I'll help you carry it. Doesn't seem like she's finished, though. And Shizune draws a fierce line afterward to signify that there's a catch. But it's a game. The first one to stumble loses, and the loser has to carry it the rest of the way by themselves. That's stupid. There's a 50% chance I'll end up carrying it myself anyway. Actually, I feel it's pretty stupid. I feel pretty stupid myself now. I just forgot she can't hear me. I stop talking and shake my head. She's pissed. I can't understand her at all, but she's coming across very forcefully. It's clear that she thinks that this is a great idea. Well, if she drops the box or something, she'll have to carry it. That'll make things a lot easier for me, obviously. The odds are 50-50, then they're probably higher than it would be for any other plan of hers. Alright, I'll take it. Thinking about it, I'm not really sure how we should do this. Then Shizune grabs a hold of one end of the box and lifts it up. I take the side that she isn't holding. Is this right? It's very uncomfortable to walk like this. We leave the cafe, and I find myself hoping that the streets are still devoid of people. Yuko seemed confused as to what we were doing, and I imagine it'll only get worse as more people see us. He said it wasn't even heavy. Like, it's not even, like, bad. Shizune doesn't seem bothered at all while walking with her arm at this unnatural angle. She just grins confidently and periodically makes some kind of weird gesture. There are people staring at us as time passes, and the usual morning crowd begins to fill the streets. I feel silly. but I'm sure that if I give up, Shizune will take it as a sign of surrender. I can't allow that, because I'm thinking I'm doing well so far. Initially, I just write Shizune's little hand signals off as preemptively gloating, but I catch on quickly that she's actually signaling where she wants to go. It dawns on me that this isn't a competition. It's not much of a challenge, first of all. And second, it's really more of an exercise in teamwork. It's just that Shizune has made a punishment for failing instead of rewarding for doing well. Our fingers touch under the box, and Shizune moves her hand away, almost dropping her side of the box in the process. Well, that's game over for her. She doesn't look very happy. Does she think I did it on purpose to make her lose? If she does, she doesn't make that big of a deal out of it. All's fair in love and war. I feel like I should take it from her and carry it myself, but she pushes me away when I try. She glares at me, as if to tell me off, but she can't. The box in her hands, she is basically gagged. Don't say that, man. It's weird. A sad expression flickers across her face for a second, maybe realizing that having to acknowledge that there are some limitations she has to deal with after all. You know what's kind of crazy, actually, is that, like, you know, this is a weird, I don't know why I was going to say signal. It's like a weird, similar thing, because, like, you know, as a person who speaks, when you, like, you know, when you kiss somebody, it's very intimate, right? Because you're kissing them. But, like, as someone who does sign language, do you think holding hands is, like, the same thing? Because, like, when you kiss someone, you're not able to talk. It's very, like, you know, it's very passionate in a way. So, like, I would assume that it's kind of the same thing. I mean, obviously, kissing might be the same for a mute. But, like, when you're holding hands, it's kind of like you're taking away your ability to speak, and it's also this intimate connection thing. So I wonder if it's, like, a similar sort of feeling. Also, I know it's Japanese, and they do shit different, but that's just me. That's just me being weird. Anyway, a sad expression flickers across her face for a second, maybe realizing that and having to acknowledge that there are some limitations she has to deal with after all. However, she is still prideful as ever, even when it's to her detriment. She wouldn't accept letting me allow her to skip out on the consequences of her bet. Anything is fair during the game, but the results have to be honored to the letter, huh? Shizune is an interesting type of person. The march back to the dorms is uneventful. Shizune passes the trip by shifting the box around occasionally like a giant Rubik's Cube. Looks like another game she has invented to amuse herself. Can't be good for whatever's inside, but I don't really care enough to stop her. Maybe this is how she deals with things, by making everything into a game. It's hard to say for sure, though. It seems futile to try to psychoanalyze Shizune. In the short time we've known each other, I'm surprised on a fair number of occasions. I notice Shizune shivering. The wind is picking up, and the school is pretty high up. It makes sense that she would be cold. If I gave her my jacket, though, she would reject it? No. Give it to her, dumbass. I take off my jacket and drape it across her shoulders before she has a chance to protest. Her shoulders are slim and delicate, so much that I want to let my hands linger on them. There we go. Let's go, Hisao. Big confident boy. Shizune flinches when my fingers brush against her, understandably surprised. Sorry. Her fingers dance lightly over the surface of the box, and I think of taking it from her, but I doubt she would let me. Shizune makes a quick gesture with her hands as best she can, pausing a bit afterward, as if wanting to say more. I'm sure that what she meant is thank you, and I'm glad I was able to catch it. That was so cute! Aww. I like that. That was really cute.